Well, I was really pleased with the way our team played today. We were anxious to be able to bounce back and compete and be relentless in the game and try to be physical and establish the kind of identity we'd like for our team to have in terms of intensity, toughness, ability to execute, and focus on what we need to do to have the discipline to execute. So I was pleased with the way we did that. There's obviously some things that we can do better in the game, but Mississippi State, I think, is a really good team. They're a very physical team, and I thought we did a really good job of stopping the run and not allowing them till the last drive, many big plays, which was the real key to it. We tackled pretty well on defense. We played the option responsibilities pretty well, and I was really pleased with what we were able to do. And we threw the ball effectively on offense. Still some inconsistencies in the running game, something that we got to continue to work on and get better at and get more physical, get our toughness back. And good to have DJ back, and I think he played pretty well tonight, so that was a good addition for us. And even though we had a penalty in the kicking game, we did make some plays in the kicking game that changed field position in the game, which I think is very, very important. So we got a short week of preparation this week, and every game's important to us, and this game is the next game, so it's very important to us, and that's what we're focused on, right now, and what this team can accomplish. And the goal has always been to play to a high standard, be the best team that we can be. We're still working toward that, but I thought we made progress toward that in terms of the way we played tonight. The crowd was great. I think it was very inspirational to our players that the crowd was supportive and into the game, and certainly has helped us play at home. And I know we won, I don't know how many in a row at home, but I want to be able to continue to do that and build on that in the future.
Coach, a couple of questions came out, and also the way they finished.
Well, I think the players were positive, and I think the players showed that they have some pride in terms of trying to develop an identity for our team. I'm not sure that the consistency that we played with throughout the year is necessarily what we want. I think our players are aware of that. We wanted to play a 60-minute game today, and even though we finished a little sloppy today, I was pleased with the effort and the toughness and the intensity that we had, and really the discipline to execute. And I think we did it together as a team. We needed everybody, all the parts working, just like a car, and I felt like we did a better job of that today. So, and I think that only comes because players are positive. They make a commitment to what they want to accomplish, and we want to continue to be able to build on that.
Two questions, Coach. First, if you could tell us what you can about Barrett Jones.
Barrett has an ankle sprain and couldn't come back in the game. He'll probably be out for a few days, and he may be very questionable for this game, especially being on a short week.
And secondly, if you could comment on the pass rush and its ability to get in Ralph's face and affect him some.
Well, I think that was a real key to the game. It's difficult to play a lot of coverage against those guys in terms of what they do and his ability to run. So we played mostly zone. We didn't turn our back to him very, very often in terms of running and covering people. So it's important that when you play zone, you get good pass rush so they don't have a lot of time to stretch your zones. And I thought we did a pretty good job of that today, and it affected them. We had a couple other opportunities where we didn't get them on the ground that they end up converting on third down. But the thing about third down in this game is this team runs the ball more on third down than they pass it. And this is the first team I've played against for a long time that's actually the case. And but they create a lot of third down and 1, 2s, and 3s, where they have an opportunity to do it because they are a very good running team. So we didn't statistically do as well on third down as we'd like, but I thought the pass rush was really important. I thought it was important because when you get sacks and give them negative plays and get them behind in the down and distance, it takes them out of their game a little bit, and I think that was, critical for us.
Nick, you talk a lot, when you talk about your offense, about wanting to get explosive plays. How did you feel about that part of the game tonight?
Well, I thought it was, we made some in the passing game. We obviously, Julio made a big play run. Had a great punt return. It got called back because of a clip, but then came right back, and Mark had an explosive play. So, that's what we want to do. We got some guys that can make explosive plays, and we want to put the ball in their hands so they have an opportunity to do it. And we made some that were, really big in this game in terms of us being able to score enough points to be successful. Getting ahead of these guys, I think, is important as well. So those big plays helped us do that.
I guess this is kind of a follow-up. The two plays with Ingram and Julio, was it part of the plan to try to attack them at the edges more?
Well, they do a lot of stunting and blitzing, and we had the speed sweep that Julio scored on was, sort of a new play that we put in because of the way they, when they're angling and slanting, the best thing to do is zone block and try to get a hat on a hat, and it's better to take the ball to the perimeter. Other than when we got in big people and ran the ball in the one drive, we didn't have much success running the ball inside, but we had more success on the perimeter. The play Mark scored on, even though it goes statistically as a pass, is really a run. It's like a quick pitch, and you block the perimeter. So those are the kind of plays that, we thought we'd have an opportunity to take advantage of today.
Coach, you mentioned wanting to get some stuff going in the run game. Obviously, you haven't watched the film yet, but based on what you saw in this game and in prior games, what do you think some of the issues are?
Well, I just think that if you don't block the right guys and you don't finish the blocks, that's always the issues. We do a good job of trying to track our tendencies so that, we're not sort of letting them read our mail in terms of what we're going to do. We've been a very effective running team running the plays that we're running and the formations that we're running, but we haven't finished blocks, and people are moving a lot more on us, pinching a lot more, which means we got to get the ball in the perimeter more. And I think we have to finish better, get a hat on a hat. The last two teams we played have done a lot of plugging and blitzing of linebackers, to try to create negative plays. Sometimes you split those. Mark split one early in the game. And sometimes, they give you a bad play. But I just think we got to play with a little bit more power, finish, play with more toughness up front. And if we put a hat on a hat, I think we have good runners, and we'll be able to make plays and get our running game going again.
Actually, two, please. I just want to ask real quick about Drake or Patrick coming in the game in the second quarter. And then how do you go from here to the short week of preparation?
Well, first of all, we have principles and values in the organization which are important to, and everybody has a responsibility and obligation to be accountable to do those things. And, any time that we have someone who doesn't do exactly what they're supposed to do, whether it's academic or whatever, then there's a possibility that I'm not a big guy on punishment. If we're going to punish someone, it needs to change their behavior. Everybody wants to play. So if guys don't do what they're supposed to do, we'll play somebody else. And Dre's a good player, and we want to help support him to develop the right habits so that he can develop a career off the field and graduate from school and do the right things, personally and academically, as well as in football. Well, we have what we have in terms of the days that we have to practice. We'll basically practice on Monday and Tuesday like we would on Tuesday and Wednesday. Probably we'll do it in shells rather than pads. Probably cut about 20 minutes out of each practice. Some of that will be the stuff that we normally do against each other, which is fundamental work, so that we're well prepared for, what we're going to see.
Thanks, Coach.